Oh, boxing IQ. He's a very good fighter. He's stronger. He is very compact. He is like a bull, you know. He's a smart guy.
Well, but Gennady Golovkin responds, and this is what he had to say, quote, he says, Terence Crawford won't have to problem with Canelo's power because he doesn't have any power.
Bud could possibly be the end for him because Bud has what it takes. I'm not saying Bud will win, but I'm just saying he has what it takes. He's not afraid of Canelo.
Gennady Golovkin delivers a surprising forecast for the Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford showdown. Golovkin insists Crawford won't struggle with Canelo's strength, claiming Canelo does not truly carry knockout-level power. After sharing the ring with Canelo 3 times, Golovkin argues the Mexican star has not evolved much. He highlights Crawford's punching authority and ability to adjust while reminding that every matchup brings unique tests requiring careful preparation.
This is boxing. This is more interesting.
Gennady, let me ask you this. You were there ringside. You saw Canelo. Yeah. Did he look better than what he did in the second fight with you? Does he look like he's improving and getting better?
Marcos, I told you just, every opponent gives you different. Every fight is different. Two fights I had, 2 fights with him. First fight and second fight is different, just.
So you
think like, no, I don't feel like, more power, more speed. No, he stayed the same.
Golovkin has shared 36 rounds with Canelo Alvarez, giving his stance more credibility than most. He argues Canelo depends on bursts of combinations and flashy attempts to score stoppages rather than true power shots capable of breaking elite rivals. For Golovkin, this is not casual talk but perspective shaped by direct battle. Having absorbed Canelo's best punches, he remains sure they lack the natural force expected from a fighter praised for strength. His view challenges the belief that Canelo is a fearsome puncher, portraying him instead as one who relies more on timing and output than raw knockout force.
Golovkin weighs in as everybody's trying to gauge how this fight is going to play out. They anticipate this fight. They want to know how this fight is going to play out. And Gennady Golovkin gives his 2 cents. As his trainer, Abel has been on social media doing multiple interviews and stating that Terence Crawford is simply too small and he's going to lose, right? And Gennady Golovkin, as Abel Sanchez is saying, that he's going to get knocked out, right? Because it's too much power. Well, but Gennady Golovkin responds, and this is what he had to say, quote, he says, Terence Crawford won't have to problem with Canelo's power because he doesn't have any power. He said, I fought Canelo at 160 and at 68, and I could say he has fast punches, he has fast combinations, but I wouldn't say there were a lot of power there, or power punches, or knockout punches. You saw that. You saw this clean shots that I took and he brought, and there were no results, end quote. So Gennady Golovkin is saying, he hit me with clean shots. You saw him hit me with clean shots, and the results was I didn't go anywhere. Now, I know people will say, well, Gennady Golovkin is naturally bigger than Canelo.
While Gennady Golovkin's former trainer maintains Terence Crawford has no chance against Canelo Alvarez, Golovkin himself does not fully share that stance. He acknowledges Crawford's sharp technique and tactical approach, which may cause Canelo real problems, making the matchup tighter than many experts originally predict.
Many still see this as a one-sided beatdown in favor of Canelo Alvarez. Former Golovkin trainer Abel Sanchez, who's been very critical as of lately and said that Canelo will just play with Terence Crawford and by the second half, it'll just be like a sparring session. Sanchez said that Canelo will not only dictate the pace throughout the evening, if Triple G himself couldn't even hurt Canelo, then Crawford's chances are definitely not that great. Sanchez said, quote, Crawford is a great fighter, but that's why weight divisions exist. Neither Bivol could hurt him, nor could my fighter in 2 fights. Triple G's former trainer has also repeatedly emphasized that Crawford should have moved up in weight class a long time ago, and that his jump should have been more gradual and steady, and suggested that skipping divisions will definitely play a role in him potentially losing badly to Canelo Alvarez.
Golovkin's three-fight series with Canelo remains among the most debated rivalries in recent boxing. The fact he still questions Canelo's power after so many rounds is significant. His remarks carry weight because they come from someone who has endured Canelo's hardest shots repeatedly. When he says Crawford has the qualities to withstand Canelo's attack, it turns into major news across the sport. Fans and analysts argue over his comments since they challenge the mainstream view of Canelo as a ruthless puncher. Golovkin's outlook revives doubts about how much of Canelo's image is marketing and how much is genuine ability.
Boxing Doctor News. Hey boxing fans, remember the epic Golovkin-Canelo trilogy? Well, get this. GGG once spilled the tea on Canelo's punching power, and it's not what you'd expect. Picture this. 2 legends, 3 fights, and a whole lot of controversy. GGG said Canelo's punches were fast, but not knockout material. Can you believe it? He claimed those clean shots brought no results. Now, fast forward to today. GGG's been out of the ring since their last bout, but rumors are swirling about a comeback. Meanwhile, Canelo's gearing up for a massive showdown with Terence Crawford. The big question is, will Canelo prove GGG wrong and land that knockout punch? It's been a while since his last stoppage. The boxing world is buzzing, and we can't wait to see what happens next.
Training camp reports inject more intrigue into this anticipated showdown. According to Showbiz the Adult, Canelo Alvarez has taken a cautious approach in sparring with Gennady, often holding back and avoiding extra risks to preserve energy for fight night. Though such restraint can be seen as wise, insiders suggest it may also hint at concerns over readiness. More dramatic claims state Canelo was floored in the 3rd round by Boots and had difficulty coping with the younger fighter's speed and strength. While still unverified, these rumors draw wide attention from fans and media. If Canelo is showing cracks in sparring, it could be an early signal of decline. For Terence Crawford, a master at exploiting weaknesses, such signs may create the perfect chance to swing the contest in his favor.
And let's talk about what we do know about Canelo Alvarez bringing Boots to training camp and what we can concur. First, you must understand that Saul Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Bud Crawford is September 13th, okay? That's just a few weeks away. What, almost 3 weeks away, something like that. It's just a few weeks away. So to expect them to have hardcore sparring, like real sparring, where they're fighting each other and they're really just going hard and sparring, pause, I don't really see that happening because you don't want a cut or anything, and you don't want anything to threaten the fight September 13th. Also, not only is Canelo Alvarez fighting soon, September 13th, but Boots Ennis, he has to fight against Lima come October. So you don't want Canelo Alvarez beating up on Boots either and cutting him or anything like that, blackening his eye or detached retina or anything like that. You don't want any incidents like that. So understand that they're probably sparring light to mid. They're definitely not going hard in there. Okay, pause. So we have to really put it aside that either one, I don't think Canelo will be beating the hell out of Boots or Boots beating the hell out of Canelo. But what I can see is if Boots is moving around and Canelo can't catch him, like let's say Boots is like pop, piecing him up with some light work and Canelo can't get to him, which, you know, that's kind of different than a real fight. In a real fight, you know, Canelo will be breaking you down and then you kind of get tired over time. But still, if they're working on cutting off the ring, if Canelo can't, and Boots is hitting him with, you know, piecing him up and moving and slipping and sliding, and he just can't get to him, that'll be some value added and something to be concerned about, which is why I said it's over.
Greg Hackett offers a wider lens, framing the bout as a possible passing of the torch. He notes that Canelo was once boxing's pound-for-pound king, but stresses no reign lasts forever. Every great champion ultimately finds the rival who signals the end of dominance. Hackett believes Crawford could be that man. He cites Crawford's sharp technique, focus, and hunger as the tools to begin a new chapter in the sport. To Hackett, this fight means more than titles or rankings. It represents legacy and the turning of an era.
Canelo is the guy, right? But everybody know that shit got to come to an end one day. Nothing is forever. And I'm not saying this is now. I'm not saying that. But Bud could possibly be the end for him because Bud has what it takes. I'm not saying Bud will win, but I'm just saying he has what it takes. He's not afraid of Canelo. You know what I'm saying? 2, he has the skills to be able to deal with Canelo. Does he have the power? I don't know, but he is a puncher. He's a puncher because his record says so. You know what I'm saying? Canelo is a puncher as well. So what I see is a great respect for each other, but after 4 rounds, I see a war breaking out. And
Oh
whoever can
shit.
whoever can stand it, meaning whoever can take that shit that's coming their way, that's who wins the fight. You know what I
Man,
mean?
I don't know if Bud wants that. I don't know if Bud wants a war with that dude.
Yeah, I
That
mean,
cat,
but
granted, he got a granite ass chin. But you saying he's a puncher because his record says so. So you
yeah,
gotta assume that you making the assumption that he can crack. Because Arrow said he can crack. That's what Arrow came out. Arrow, I
yeah,
think, said he thought, was getting Canelo. I don't know whether that's, him trying to pay him back for saying that, for what Terence said about him. This other fight, man, I got it in the title, man. And I appreciate you letting me pick your brain, man. Because I'm gonna steal your predictions. And then I'm gonna give you credit for it at the same time, dog. I ain't gonna be like everybody else. I'm gonna steal your shit and give you credit for it at the same time, dog. Devin, I'm starting to think, man, maybe Devin Haney's a little underrated, man. Going
yeah,
into this Brian Norman fight. Like, I've had my own personal issues with the dude and his pops, but that shit aside,
yeah.
the dude knows what he's doing in the boxing ring. He's been in there with a bunch of fights. He's a championship world-class level fighter, bro.
John Ryder adds perspective from his own sparring experiences with Canelo. He recalls completing 12 tough rounds in a demanding and competitive session, showcasing the Mexican star's discipline and stamina. Ryder describes Canelo as steady and difficult to wear down over extended exchanges, which explains his long-lasting success at the elite level. This account balances the debate by suggesting that while some critics believe Canelo's punching power is exaggerated, his overall skills, conditioning, and ring experience still make him a formidable opponent for anyone.
Fight for him, waiting for a big fight, and giving him, like, he had his hands full with you, and obviously there was triumph for you there, not just going the distance, but going the distance with severe injury as well, right?
Of course, yeah, and I think that I want to be a trainer where I can go to people, look, I don't want to tell them things and they go, right, well, listen to him because he's been there, he's done it himself. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to be telling them to run through walls and not having done it myself. Like, if you need to bite down and push through because you still got a shot in this game, then do it. And listen, I've stood there toe to toe with one of the greatest pound for pound fighters out there, nose broken in the second, and pushed him to the 12th and final round. But I know now I can call on that in the future with fighters I train and just say, look, now you've got to dig deep, now you've got to pull through, and it's going to hurt today, but tomorrow's another day.
While Jaron Ennis has drawn attention for sparring Canelo, he has also faced criticism. Some argue he held back during those sessions or even participated with financial motives rather than full intensity. These accusations raise questions about how authentic training camp reports really are. Such doubts matter because sparring results often leak to the public and shape perceptions of a fighter's readiness. If Ennis truly went easy, fans and analysts may be misled. But if he genuinely exposed flaws, then Crawford's team gains critical insight heading into the fight.
Pathetic. Purely pathetic. Terence Crawford's team inflicting race in this situation in reference to Jerome Bruce Ennis training and sparring with Canelo Alvarez, Mexican superstar, Latino superstar, the 4W world champion, super middleweight undisputed, because Jerome Bruce Ennis, a brother, is training with Canelo Alvarez, then he's a sellout to his people? Really? This what Terence Crawford's team had to say in reference to Jerome Bruce Ennis, the former unified champion of the welterweight division, training and sparring with Canelo Alvarez.
He sold out. That's all I can say. He sold out now.
It's pathetic, man. Because he's a sellout because he's training with Canelo. Hey, yo, Bernie the Boxer and people that, and Terence Crawford's members that feel this way. Do y'all feel the same way about Isaud? Yeah. The Latino trainer, the Guatemalan trainer that been training Terence Crawford since 14 years old. That's how y'all look at him? Y'all look at him like he's a sellout? Is he a sellout to Latinos because he trains Terence Crawford? Yo, for real, I never heard that in the sport of boxing, where Latino trains with a black fighter and he's a sellout to Latinos. I never heard, I never seen it. Why is this self-victimhood, this ingrained hate that some blacks have for Latinos?
Gareth A. Davies and Duke McKenzie underline the significance of this matchup in modern boxing. Too often, top fighters avoid high-risk opponents, but Canelo versus Crawford stands out as a rare exception. This fight brings together two of the sport's most accomplished talents in a contest fans have demanded for years. For both commentators, it represents more than just another bout. It is a defining clash where greatness is measured against greatness. They stress that such encounters are unique chances to witness history unfold and legacies secured in real time.
Great, marvellous Marvin Hagler became a friend in life and was an amazing man.
An amazing
character. I've likened this fight to those two when they met, with one going up in weight, quite a big step. I've mentioned it to the two guys when I saw them in Riyadh last week as well. First of all, I was backing Terence Crawford to win this on points, with his skills to pay the bills and his speed and his timing and his spitefulness and the fact that he's raising his game. When we see here as well, by the way, the pushing and shoving in New York in the earlier press conference, I think he's poked the bear a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think Canelo's very dangerous. And I think Canelo might win this.
My money's on Crawford. My money's clearly on Crawford. I mean, there's so many different ways of looking at this fight, but I really believe...
Do you like it?
It's the best fight in world boxing, bar none. At any weight division,
because of the stylistic matchup, because of the raise in levels, and because of the weight differential,
yeah, and because we're looking at two of the best undisputed modern day boxers that have ever lived, in my opinion, modern day boxers that have lived. In this current generation that we're in now, you're not going to get two better fighters fighting at this time in their careers.
Jaron Ennis has also voiced caution about Crawford's choice. He warns that moving up to face a naturally bigger fighter like Canelo without an interim test fight could prove a risky gamble. Ennis notes that size and physical strength matter, and usually easing into a higher weight division is the safer approach. His comments add a note of realism to the build-up, reminding audiences that despite Crawford's elite skill set, he is entering unfamiliar territory against an opponent with natural size advantages.
But I think you gotta lean more towards Canelo, because like I said before, he been putting big guys out and down, and Canelo not even really a 68 pounder. He probably really should be at 60 maybe, and he been hurting these guys. I think he be dropping these guys and things like that. So, and them guys be way bigger than him come fight night. I know that for sure. They be probably close to 200 pounds, and he dropping those guys like that. So I don't know. It's gonna be a great fight. The fans want to see it, so so be it. I think Crawford should take a warm-up fight. At like 60, or like at least at 60, just to get his body, to fill into somebody a little bit bigger, and things like that. I know when you go up a weight, you gotta, develop that power and not develop the power, but like put that muscle on and be heavier and things like that. So he might not want to take a fight because he's trying to build up right now, but I think he should, just to stay sharp and that way he don't have like a long layoff or anything like that.
Gerald Miller provides a more optimistic take from a fighter's standpoint. He admires Crawford's hunger and determination, believing those qualities can tip the balance even against a larger rival. Miller downplays excessive concerns over size differences, insisting that mental toughness and willpower often decide legendary fights. He emphasizes that Crawford's sheer drive to succeed could outweigh any physical disadvantages. His perspective injects confidence into the narrative, showing that many within boxing still see Crawford as capable of producing a career-defining triumph.
Crawford, huge fight September 13th. Who do you think's going to win that?
I'm pulling for Crawford in this one. I think people was underestimating his strength right now and his size. And I think he's a little more hungry than Canelo. So let's see though. But I like both guys, but I'm more a little closer to Crawford, so I want to see Crawford can take it.
And lastly, quick mention on IBA Pro. Interesting concept that people records on the line. So I know in boxing, people don't like risking their own and things. Do you feel like this is a step forward? This could become a major player in boxing?
I think it definitely can. I mean, any opportunity to make some money and build your repertoire and your arsenal.
Analysts stress that Crawford's game plan will be the ultimate factor in this contest. This is not only about trading punches, but about executing a disciplined strategy capable of neutralizing Canelo's assets. Defeating a champion of Canelo's stature would elevate Crawford into boxing's highest echelon, erasing doubts about his greatness. To succeed, Crawford must rely on intellect, timing, and adaptability rather than brute strength. Patience, accuracy, and control are essential. If he maintains composure and capitalizes on openings, the night may belong to him.
Understands that he has to be smart. And I think with this one specifically, it ain't just about being smart. He knows he has to look like he's never looked before, because again, if he doesn't, and he beats Canelo, everybody's just gonna say, well, that's Crawford. You know, so I think he knows that this is the performance of a lifetime and everything has to look right. He knows in order for it to look right, he can't just go out there and let the dog go. The dog is, you know, you got to work his way up to the dog. Hey, show the clip real quick. I don't know if you showed it already, but this is the dog you're talking about right here, right? And so this is, I pulled this clip right here. I seen it on social media this morning.
Don't do that. That's what I'm saying.
And I pulled this clip, right? But this is Terence.
That's who he is.
He's not gonna swing on Canelo. He already know that part of the game.
That concludes today's video.